Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Now I know what you guys were talking about in the live stream earlier with Whitey Bulger. You guys got to write more than 2 words. When you just write Whitey Bulger, I don't know what you're talking about. If you say, Whitey Bulger died today in prison, then I go, oh, I see. Complete sentences. They take you places. Let's go to the desktop and let's talk about why Whitey Bulger, the Boston mob boss, died just days after the Boston Red Sox won the World Series. What we got here is another perfect example of murder by numbers. You know, Whitey Bulger was an MK Ultra victim. We'll get to that. He had a good birthday for it. But here he is, Whitey Bulger, the leader of the Winter Hill Gang, born September 3rd, 1929, dead today, October 30th, 2018. And from his birthday to today is 57 days later. And what's 57? It's the number we talk about every year in regard to the World Series and all the people who get murdered in connection to it. Happens again and again and again. We'll see who else dies 57 days after their birthday in the week and weeks ahead in connection to this World Series. But Whitey Bulger died 57 days after his 89th birthday, and we'll get to why 89 matters. But we're just going to start right here. 57 in Gematria World Series equals 57. Big number. The word birthday has Gematria 57. We saw Alex Cora, the manager of the Red Sox, who helped manage the Astros a year earlier that won the World Series. We saw the Red Sox advance to the World Series on his birthday. Couldn't help but notice that Whitey Bulger, his birth numerology, September 3rd, 1929, 9 plus 3 plus 29, date with 41 numerology. Just talked an awful lot about 41 before Game 5 was played. If you haven't seen my video on the pre-Game 5 analysis, it was actually something I've been talking about since this summer, since July of this summer on my radio show, talked about it multiple times, the possibility of the Red Sox making it to the World Series and winning in Game 5. Here's why. Here's what we've been talking about since July before this even happened, before the Red Sox were in the World Series. Game 5 has Gematria 41. The Red Sox could win the World Series in Game 5 4-1 as they did. Game 5 equals 41, LA 41, Super Bowl equals 41. What we were talking about is how Game 5 is synced up with the upcoming Super Bowl, which will be February 3rd, 2019, 99 days from Game 5. Why does 99 matter? Because the upcoming Super Bowl is to close out the 99th NFL season, and New England equals 99. So we saw this riddle. And if you watch my preview video, I pointed out that Chris Sale wasn't starting, but you could expect him to close out the game, and he did. Chris Sale's number 41. And what I pointed out before the game is from his birthday to Game 5 was his 213th day of his age, like how LA's the 213 area code. You had David Price, the starter, born in 85. Boston equals 85. You had Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers, the starter, the team that hasn't won the World Series since 88, in the season that began on the 88th day of the year. And then for the managers, you had the two guys who played for the Red Sox and the Dodgers in their playing careers. All part of a monumental mocking and script. Like I said with Dave Roberts, Game 5 was 150 days from his birthday, where World Series also has the gematria of 150. And the other thing I pointed out about Game 5 was it was the only game starting at 5:15 Pacific, 8:15 Eastern. Game was out in the West Coast, so it started at 5:15. When you add 1 through 5 together, it equals 15. 15 is the fifth triangular number. Chris Sale closed out the game with 15 pitches. So anyway, Whitey Bulger has the 41 birth numerology, which was a big number in the rigged World Series. And I'm going to show you how his death is also synced up with the Patriots as well as the Red Sox winning this World Series. Notice the name Whitey. His nickname has gematria 27, like MLB, like baseball. We just had the 27 hours of baseball. That headline by ESPN on the 27th. 2 games concluding on the same day, the 27th. One game that went into the 18th inning by the numbers, ended with the 61st at bat, 61 the 18th prime, why Roger Maris hit 61 and 61, because pro sports have always been scripted by the same code the news is, because Freemasonry runs it all. So, not only did Whitey Bulger die 57 days after his birthday, right after Boston won the World Series, coming from Boston, another way to put it is he died on his 58th day of his age. 57 days after his birthday, or if you count the birthday as well, it's a span of 58 days. Today, the day he died, is a date with 58 numerology. It is his 58th day of his age, 89. And what is 58? Freemasonry's 58, secret society's 58. He was the leader of the Winter Hill Gang, Winter Hill 58. Boston gangster Whitey. Notice how they emphasize Whitey? This is why. Because it's a baseball ritual. 27 outs per team per complete game. Just in case you stumbled on this video and you're like, man, this is a bunch of bullshit. Because I know that person comes through this video every time. Tell me this is a bunch of bullshit right here. Baseball with the alphabetic order, 54. 54 outs in a complete game. 18 half innings per game. You know, the 18th hit in the 18th inning, the 61st at bat for the Dodgers, the 18th prime ended the game. Think this stuff's a coincidence? Nope, it's how it's all rigged. 162 like the number of games in the season. 54 again like the number of total outs in a game. What happens when you type in Major League? What happens? 108 like the number of double stitches on a baseball, like how Boston won 108 games and lost 54, like how I guaranteed the Cubs would win the World Series. In spring training, the year they were on the 108-year drought, they hadn't been in the World Series since 45 Major League. You add 1 through 9 together equals 45. Pointing out David Price was starting 63 days after his birthday. Freemasonic equals 189. Freemasonry credited with all the American sports. Anyway, you learn these base ciphers. You see how they all come together. We just talked about how World Series sums to 57. It also sums to 75. West Virginia, 75. World Series, 75. You might have heard at the end of Game 7, the announcers brought up how they were talking about the 1939 World Series that the Yankees won. Everything in New York's 39. They mentioned how that World Series, all the games combined, lasted 7 hours and 5 minutes, the fastest World Series ever. The total amount of time for the whole World Series, which was a 4-game sweep, was 7 hours and 5 minutes. The 18-inning game was nearly that long in itself. But, you know the code. You see why they're reporting the things that they did. And what it makes me go is, well, was the 1939 World Series really 7 hours and 5 minutes, or are they just saying that because those are World Series numbers? But Whitey Bulger, dead in West Virginia, 75. World Series also 75. So was Winter Hill Gang. See how it goes? He's dead October 30th, the day leaving 62 days left in the year, sacrificed 62. The Dodgers advanced to the World Series on the 293rd day of the year, the same day that they won the World Series in 1988. 293 is the 62nd prime. They were the team that got sacrificed for the Dodgers' favor in the world of rigged sports. And with regards to Whitey Ford dying at age, or not Whitey Ford, Whitey Bulger dying at age 89, remember, every game except for Game 5 started at 8:09 Eastern Time. 8:09, a lot like 89. Los Angeles Dodgers, 89. Los Angeles, California, 89. So the other guy that's part of this riddle with the Red Sox rigged World Series, which has everything to do with the upcoming Super Bowl, Tom Brady's 41 years old right now. The Super Bowl number. And from his birthday to this man's death is Tom Brady's 89th day of his age. 89 is the 11th Fibonacci number. Football, a game of 11 on 11. If you missed my, if you're not on Patreon, you obviously missed my football decode. I don't think I released that to the public. I could. But showed what the big ritual was with Tom Brady last night, why he was playing on prime time 87 days after his birthday, what was so special about his 229th career win coming on that day, his 29th win against the Bills on the 29th. How many of you guys are getting bombarded right now with phone calls that's automated voice saying, hi, this is Blue Cross, Aetna, Blue Shield, or whatever? I'm getting like 100 of those calls a day. It's like, who is paying for this? Anyway, doesn't matter how many numbers you block, they just call back from another one. But dead at 89 on Tom Brady's 89th day of his birthday. You guys remember about a year ago when Aaron Hernandez was found dead in his prison cell? And the story was that the word Illuminati was written in blood on the wall, and it was the same day the Patriots were visiting Donald Trump at the White House. Donald Trump, who January 19th, 2017, couldn't talk about anything besides the Patriots. The night before becoming president, all he had to talk about was the Patriots. So notice Bulger. He was an MK Ultra. MK Ultra, the mind control program by the CIA, the one that they used to create their patsies. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if this guy's entirely innocent. His brother was a powerful politician in Massachusetts, the president of the state senate. So pretty much the most powerful man in state government. You know, his brother's probably the fall guy for his brother's crimes. But interesting that his birthday was September 3rd in light of being an MK Ultra victim. MK Ultra equals 93 like propaganda. They use these MK Ultra victims for their agenda, controlling us with the propaganda. The jury found him culpable in 11 killings from 73 to 85. You see that? The 85 thing? Just talking about how David Price, the winning pitcher to close out the World Series for Boston. Boston 85. Sacrifice for the World Series. For all you Boston fans out there that think the NBA is legitimate, the reason you guys lead in basketball championships with 17 is because your city has the same gematria as basketball. And with your 17 championships, here's what it's all about. NBA 17. So speaking of sports and news being scripted together, my favorite football player in the entire NFL, and he's only my favorite because of his name, because his name's Clinton-Dix. I've been saying this for years. This guy is a tribute to Bill Clinton. Again, the world of professional athletes are people who are farmed and raised to be pro athletes. Born and bred to be, like cattle on a ranch. And a lot of them are named accordingly. And one of the sickest jokes in all the world of pro sports is Clinton-Dix. What's that make you think of? Monica Lewinsky? Well, now he just got traded to Washington, D.C. from the Green Bay Fudge Packers. Look at this. Look at this. What year was Clinton-Dix born? The same year that Bill Clinton was elected president? You see this? Do you see this? 92. Now look at this. I love that he was born on 12/21 too. 12 plus 21, 33. Clinton, 33. Federal, 33. Masonry, 33. Secrecy, 33. Order, 33. October, 33. Straight comes at the end of October. But look at this. Clinton-Dix equals 74, like Monica Lewinsky. Like Jewish, like Masonic. Monica was Jewish. This code of letters and numbers is Jewish and Masonic. George Washington, Masonic, probably Jewish too. You know, I never seen him in the flesh, but his paintings, he looks a bit Jewish in those paintings of him. English 74, Gematria 74. Now here's the ultimate kicker. Clinton-Dix, the tribute to Bill Clinton's dick, is getting traded 52 days from his own birthday. Clinton-Dix 52, President 52, White House 52, Government 52, Authority 52, to his upcoming birthday 52 days. How do you like that? He's 25 years old right now, the reflection of 52. And from his birthday to the upcoming Super Bowl is 44 days. Lewinsky 44, he just got traded from the Fudge Packers. Packers 44, Wisconsin 44. What else cracks me up is his full name, Hashawn Trayshawn Clinton-Dix. Sums to 271. That's the 58th prime number. This trade comes on a date with 58 numerology. Watch this. George W. Bush electoral votes. I was 17 years old when this happened. I just knew the whole society was a joke. You see how George W. Bush got 271 electoral votes, thanks to it coming down to his brother, where his brother was the 43rd governor before he became the 43rd president. You see how he got those 271 votes? Again, I just want you to see that 271 is the 58th prime number, so you can understand how funny this is. Bush equals 58, and George W. Bush equals 58. Isn't that nice? And remember, Freemasonry 58, George Washington was a Freemason, Secret Society 58. If you break out that rule for S, Washington is also 58. So is United States, the nation founded by Freemasons. So anyway, Clinton-Dix, his full name, 271, the 58th prime, gets traded on a 58-date numerology to Washington. His full name also sums to 109, the 29th prime, like how football is 29, like how from the date of the Thailand cave rescue to the date of the Thai owner's death in the helicopter crash was 109 days later, and his name equals 109. 109, the 29th prime. He owned the football team, football 29. 350 is also a number that's important to football. The Packers won the first ever Super Bowl with 35 points. When you use the Chaldean and septenary ciphers, football and Super Bowl have gematria 35. Numerology also equals 125, and that's the language these people speak in. So, Clinton-Dix traded to Washington by the numbers. My sleeper pick from before this NFL season began was the Redskins and the Patriots to represent in the Super Bowl. Not sure it's going to be the Redskins. They still got a strong chance, but there's been a lot of clues for another team in the NFC. Still, Redskins are having a good season leading their division. Everyone said I was crazy. A lot of trolls said Redskins wouldn't even win 5 games this year. They're already there, though. So, what can I say? Learn the code, learn gematria, see through it all. Same thing I've been saying every day for 5 years straight plus. And also, speak in complete sentences. When you guys leave acronyms and 2 words and expect me to know what you're talking about, not a clue. If you just took that extra 5 seconds to write out the sentence, I'd be all over it. So, who else is going to get murdered in connection to Boston now that they just won the World Series? When your city wins championships, you get deaths connected to it. And you know what's sick to think about? This guy, he probably never did anything wrong in his life. It's probably, only thing wrong with him is probably the brother of a powerful man. So he got to be the scapegoat. He's had to sit his whole life in prison, and then he gets murdered as an old man. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? So, hey, look at that. We got 62 likes. I don't believe it. You can help solve that problem by hitting the like button. And there's another sentence, like you guys will just leave sentences like that. Another school shooting, and then I'll look and I'll type in school shooting. I don't know where to look. I can't find anything. You guys got to be specific. Another helicopter crash where? Write out a few more words. Another helicopter crash in the U.S. What place in the U.S.? I'm not giving out sports picks. All you guys keep asking for sports picks. You guys make me sad. Go sign up for the Patreon. Either that or get off my page. Stop asking me questions I already answered. You guys got 5 years of free content. That's all you guys are, is a bunch of beggars. Every time I come out here, what's this? Can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? Asking me questions already covered in my book. All you guys can do is mooch. You guys are like bacteria. Not the good kind. Well, October's almost over. They got one more day. Yeah, scapegoat is a 33 word. Very true. Kaepernick to the Jaguars. It won't surprise me. That's the team with the next closest Black Panther symbolism. Beekman Town. That's where the helicopter crashed. One dead, 3 hospitalized. Reminds me of the 13 cycles of the moon. Beekman Town, there it is. 57. Like helicopter. Like moon. All 57. Like how the owner who just died was born in 57. Who died 22 years after the last soccer team owner. Who died on a date with 57 numerology. And the other thing that just stood out to me about Beekman Town is that 174. That stands out. I'll show you why. 174. Remember this. Number of the beast. 174. Look at helicopter. You ever read my book? You don't know about the 666 rituals with helicopters and Donald Trump. That's why you're missing out. But Anytime you got a 111 there in ordinal gematria in the times 6 cipher, it's 666. So number of the beast, 174, helicopter 666. It just never ends. It never ends. Where is Beekman Town anyway? Never heard of it. Beekman Town. Clinton County. Look at it, it's in Clinton County, huh? In Clinton County, CC 33, plus Clinton itself is 33. Huh. Where's Beekman Town? Is there more than one Beekman Town? Is this the right one? Is it in New York? That would make sense. Clinton County. George Clinton, the first governor there. So look at the coordinates. 44th parallel, 73rd meridian, kill 44, sacrifice 73. Well, we already know what happened. I mean, just makes you wonder what's the greater ritual here. But we see what happened there with the helicopter in Beekman Town. Craig's been trying to spread the word, but like he said, most people, they just aren't that interested. They'd rather take selfies. Yeah, I know exactly how it is. I mean, you talk to people and their like level of engagement's not there. They're just like, hey, did you see what happened last night on whatever sitcom? It's just like, oh, really? I just told you something that's just like that interesting. And your response is, did I see what happened on the sitcom? It's like, you know what? I think I got to go home. Yeah. Being into the truth, it's a good way to isolate yourself. Start to realize that these other people around you are the walking dead. Hillary saying they all look alike. When did that happen? Scott Wheeland. Yep, his death's in my book. His death was synced up with David Bowie. I covered it live. If anything happened in the last 5 years, I probably covered it. You know, I've been here every single day. David Bowie. His son is Scott Wayland, I'm pretty sure. You should read my book there, Kev. Not be one of the people sitting on the sidelines wondering things that I answered 1,000 times over in the best book ever written. You could turn to that page on Scott Wayland right now. Look at people still asking me for Super Bowl picks. Renee loves my honesty. Well, it's one thing I'm good at. Oh yeah, I forgot that there was a Whitey Bulger movie. That was the one with Johnny Depp, huh? Let's take a look at that. Black Mass, that was the name of the movie, huh? Black Mass movie release date. Let's see how that syncs up with his death. We know how Hollywood rolls. So that movie came out September 18th, 18/9, 189, Freemasonic, 189. God, I remember when this movie was, oh, look at that. Look at that, you guys. It just makes me want to die. Look at the date numerology. 9 plus 18 plus 20 plus 15 is what? 62, like how he's dead on the day, leaving 62 days left in the year. It's too bad you go in a room full of people and you show them that, they'll be like, what? Can we talk about LeBron James? Pass me another brewski. So anyway, the movie comes out on a date with 62 numerology. He's dead on the day, leaving 62 days left in the year. In case you just got here, that's the big old sacrifice number. Whoops, you can spell. Let me get rid of my Sumerian gematria. See, a lot of people die by this number. So let's also measure. Maybe we should even measure from Johnny Depp's birthday. A lot of people have been synced up with Johnny Depp over the years. Deaths. What's Joaquin Phoenix's brother? He died for Johnny. Even Prince's death was connected to a million things, including Johnny Depp, who had that little concert for him afterwards. Let's see here. Here's the span of days. 1,139. So you know what jumps out in a big way? The 162 weeks. Because like we just said, his death's connected to the World Series. When you write out baseball, gematria of 162, like how there's 162 games in the season. And when you write out Major League Baseball with the alphabetic order, it's 162. You remember when Roy Halladay died last year on November 7th in a plane crash just off Holiday, Florida, 11/7? November 7th leaves 54 days left in the year. Let's see who dies this year on November 7th. Just watch, especially since the Red Sox only lost 54 games this year. Look for some former Red Sox players that are 54-year-old. They could be on the chopping block. But, okay, so 162 weeks from the release of the movie. What else do I see? I swear to God, there's something about the number 1,139. If you don't count the full span, it's 1138. If you count the full span, it's 1139. Let me see. Is that a prime number? I think I've touched this number somewhere before. No, it's not. I don't know. I got to think about that one. But the 162 weeks and the 62-date numerology, that's a big one. Let's check out old Johnny, since Johnny Depp played the character. Johnny Depp, he's 55 right now. Boston, Massachusetts equals 55. Now this guy's the Boston gangster. Boston Red Sox just won the World Series. So Boston, Massachusetts. Johnny's 55. Birthday's June 9th. Let's see. Wow, he died on his 144th day. That's an important time number there. Time in Jewish gematria is 144. So is light. You know, time and light, they go together. So is killer. Time's a killer. Johnny's 144th day of being 55. If you didn't count the full span, it was also 143 days after his birthday. Scottish Rite's 57, like World Series, like how Bulger died 57 days after his birthday. Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, 143. Same ones that control the world of sports, the world of music, Hollywood. Yeah, I don't think that's any accident. These people got it all planned. They got it all planned out. You know, they've had the guy in prison for decades, so they've had plenty of time to think it out. What else is going on in the world? River Phoenix, yeah? River Phoenix. Oh, THX 1138. Yeah, that's the George Lucas movie. There you go. There's a 1138. Yeah, watch THX 1138. It's about a police state controlled by like drone robots. That's George Lucas. George Lucas. If you guys don't know, his first movie is THX 1138. 1138. Notice the 113. George Lucas, the master of the green screen, another 113. Number deception. You can deceive people with green screens. These news anchors always trying to pretend like they're someplace that they're not, standing in front of a green screen. November 7th, 187, huh? Somebody's asked me if I ever looked at River Phoenix after I already said I did. Yeah, I did. I used to have a video. This is channel number 20, so a lot of videos have been deleted by Google. But I used to have a video on River Phoenix's death. There's probably still even a blog post up somewhere. What, you guys want to know about River Phoenix now? If you guys don't use my blog, you should use it. Just come here and search. Pretty much every topic in the world's covered. Did you guys see that text message there from my buddy? That's my token buddy I go on hikes with. So, anyway, let's see here. River Phoenix. He was born at the River Bottom in Madras, Oregon. River Bottom, 58. Madras, Oregon, 58. Freemasonry, 58. Secret Society, 58. We just talked about 58 in this video. Of course, we talk about 58 every single day because these people love this number. He died in 93. Number for Saturn, the keeper of time, connected to death and judgment. Dead at age 23. His death was blamed on a drug overdose. He died on a date with 63 numerology. Drug overdose equals 63. Also a date with 153 numerology. Drug overdose 153. Numbers that connect to Johnny Depp. He'd been hanging out with Johnny. His name River Phoenix is 163, the 38th prime. Plus he's from Oregon. So am I. But Oregon's got the 38 gematria too. Big number there with death. Death, murder, killing, RIP. They're all 30. Whoops. I wrote RJP. Must have been typing too fast. Either that or I had been, smoking a little bit too much. Supposed to be RIP. Johnny Depp, born in 63. Oh my God. And look at that. Look at that. What day did River Phoenix die? River Phoenix died October 31st, Halloween, right? Did we not just talk about 144 and the death of Bulger here? Look, from Johnny Depp's birthday to River Phoenix's death, 144 days again. You see that? That number that just shows up. My, oh my. Tell you, the same repetitive numbers. If you've read my chapter, Letters and Numbers, the longest chapter in there is Murder by Numbers. That chapter alone is over 150 pages, and the same numbers just come up again and again. River Phoenix was hanging out at the Viper Room that night. Gematria 74, like killing, like Masonic, like Jewish. So, how old was Johnny? Johnny would have been 30 years old back then. Another number connecting to Saturn. Saturn has that gematria of 30. Saturn's the keeper of time. 144 connected to time. So that's a little bit on the... And River Phoenix, who died, also had 30 birth numerology. So, this is that Svengali, that evil in the industry, that web of deceit. You want to stay afloat? You probably got to have somebody die for you. You want to make it in the industry? You probably got to take it up the rear end or have somebody die for you. So, yeah, I'm glad we looked there at River Phoenix. Just further cemented the point I was already making. OKC bombing. All right, I'm going to draw the line right there. Oh, you know what? The only reason I want to look at the OKC bombing for the 1,000th time, which is also in my book, is because 144 is connected all over the OKC bombing. Just go decode the name. What is it? Edward P. Murrah Federal Building or whatever it is. Go decode it. You'll see it's 144. All of you guys with all these questions, go read my book. I covered everything in there. You'll see, you'll read the book. You'll be like, damn, he covered everything. I don't have any questions left. He answered them all. Everything's in the book. There's a reason the book's 773 pages and it took me 5 years to write. You guys are making me regret working this hard, not picking up the book. 144,000 from Revelation, the tribes of Israel. The Children of God cult. I got to look that up. I don't know about that one. Is Michael Myers Jewish? I'm pretty sure he is. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen me debate a call for an uprising in Jeff C., it was 2-on-1 and they both got destroyed. That's why nobody debates me. That's why you see trolls in my channel, but you'll never see anybody try to debate. People used to try to call in and get me on my radio show until I owned them all. Now none of them call back. No one can beat me in a debate on this topic. No one. Fluoride Jones is on it about the Johnny Depp Viper Room. He must have been ahead of me in the chat before I got to that point. Number 93, it has a lot of significance. You know, everything has to do with time. That's why they tell us the sun's 93 million miles away. But it's also the occult religion Thelema, Aleister Crowley's religion. They worship the number 93. They say hello and goodbye with 93. A lot of celebrities in this world, they've been said goodbye with the number 93. Looking for the Truth says now they've updated it that Whitey Bulger was murdered. Well, of course he was. Watch. Next, they'll update that the wall was written in blood Illuminati, just like they did with Aaron Hernandez. And it's just like those are the types of things that just get put out in our media, and you just wonder how the world keeps spinning without people waking up. I mean, the Patriots are at the White House on the same day that their former player gets murdered, and there's a headline about how the word Illuminati is written in blood on the wall. Upload my How to Gematria videos. Just go get my book. You know, I teach you in there. Sign up for Gematria School every Tuesday night. We get better and better at Gematria practicing together. So I had free Gematria videos. I had free trainings for 5 years. We didn't get far enough. I'm trying it a new way. You know, I'm still giving you guys free content, but I got to raise funds to build the Gematria News Network. Can't sit here until I'm 60 years old repeating myself every single day. Same damn patterns. People not catching on. Do I decode the Mormons in my book? Well, if you'd read my book, you'd know you only have to get about 5 pages before I start talking about the Mormons. How could I help myself from talking about the Mormons, the most Masonic religion there is? Yeah, I go in on the Mormons. I got the deaths of Joseph Smith and Brigham Young in there. Plus, I show how their whole contrived religion is brought about in the very first chapter. So, again, I keep telling you guys, all your questions for me, if you just go buy my book, you'd already have all your questions answered. There's no book that answers more questions in the history of the world than my book. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. That's why all the questions you guys ask me, like, man, get the book. It's in there. It's in there. Covered it all. Yeah, people don't know that a call for an uprising retired for a few months after he debated me. He retired the day after. He was too sore. He got exposed too bad. Renee says I'm giving out too much free info. Yeah, burn down Google. I agree. We're going to burn down Google when we got enough awake people. However, their search engine does make some things easier for us, but we'll have somebody else build it. Google, 1984 company. Do I see any good in any people? Well, honestly, Kathy, when I'm in person, I try to see the good in all people. Otherwise, how would I coexist? But overwhelmingly, I got a lot of disdain for people and their apathy and their ignorance and their gullibility and their sheepishness and everything else. So, what's the lesson tonight? I'm saving it, Miss Mildred. That's the bit of surprise when you guys get in the classroom. Got to keep some excitement going. How does this get widespread? I don't know if you guys would share it. It's like earlier, a guy told me that he shared my work. Well, earlier today in the live stream, a guy said that I was telling him about your football picks and how accurate they were, and he wasn't impressed. But then the guy asked him how I pick so accurately, and then he showed him how I do it using this code, and the guy rolled his eyes and didn't want to know anymore. And, you know, I guess what that guy could have done, I don't know how long that guy's been following me, but I mean, somebody rolled their eyes. You could say, well, look, man, I mean, he's called like nearly every sports championship from early in the seasons, even before seasons begun, for years straight since he's been doing this. He's called a lot of specifics too, besides who will be in the game. He's called scores. He's called MVPs, you know, so roll your eyes all you want, but this is obviously how it's done. Somebody told me to be patient. I don't know who's more patient than me, honestly. You know. Yeah, if you're a $1 member, you can get into Gematria School tonight. $1 gets you into the last Tuesday of every month of Gematria School. $11 a month gets you into every class, and plus all the other content on there. Jonathan's all over this country. Ms. Mildred is saying, come on, people, hit the like button. But anyway, we've been going long enough for this live stream. I've been on a lot today. I do got to do a little more prep work for Gematria School tonight. It starts at 6 p.m. Pacific. That's 9 Eastern. It's good to be there live, but even if you can't be there live, you can absorb the lesson anytime after. As long as you're on the Patreon page, you can go back and watch. Jonathan's coming to Gematria class tonight. Any dates on the beginning of the FEMA camps? Well, I'm not counting on any FEMA camps, honestly. It's a lot of people to house. I don't know if they have, I don't know if the government's big enough to put us all in camps. They'd probably more likely pull the plug on us and let us fend for ourselves for a few months. All right, you guys. Thanks for the chat. Be back this evening to sign up for the Patreon Gematria School. It's you got to go to Patreon. It's linked in the description. If you go to the description of my video where it says support my Patreon here, if you click that, it'll take you to this page, and then you got to become a patron right here. You got to click that button to sign up. $1 a month to get you quite a bit of content. Every Friday night, you get to learn how to decode sports live. Every Friday night, all of you guys who want all your sports answers, sign up here. And then the last Tuesday of every month, you get Gematria School. And then I put out a lot of other content, too, just here and there that I'll let the $1 members have access to. And once we get 19 more people, when we get to 950, I'm going to start doing the hour-long podcast Monday through Friday. The $1 tier will get that, too. But if you want other stuff like all the sports picks, you got to be a $5 member. If you want the book and everything that's put out on this page, including the future books, if you're an $11 member, you're going to get every book that I end up releasing for free. And once football season's over, I'm going to go grind on the next book. I can write a lot. I can write about 50 pages a day, and the next book's probably only going to be about 200 pages long. Obviously, I won't finish it in 4 days, but I'll have probably the majority of it written in 4 days. Then I'll have to read over it and make sure it sounds good and figure out what I missed. But you'll get a lot of content a month for $11. So, you know. But $1, if you can afford $1 a month, you'll get way more than your money's worth. So tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific, what will happen is above this post, and what I've been doing is making it so it shows up at 5:55 p.m. local. That's 8:55 Eastern. There'll be a window. And you can click on that, and then you'll get in the live chat. And then when I start teaching the lesson at 6, I'll show up. So you just got to be signed up here and ready to load your screen around 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. All right, truth seekers. I was hoping we would sell a book during the live stream, and it looks like we did. We sold one 11 minutes ago. So thank you to the person who picked up the book. If a few more, you could go out and pick up the book. That would be so great. If you could hit the like button, that would also be great. All right, truth seekers, until next time.